power, work, energy, power. So here today I give you a few tips to start. The few tips are like the power is one thing. I told you that we'll start the work energy theorem. That when we meet tomorrow, we'll do that. And today I will do power. Power is work done divided by unit time. This is one thing. And power is measured in watts. Watts is joule second inverse. 1 watt is 1 joule per second. This is the one which you need. Now another formula of work done is nothing but integral power is represented as P dt. This is the formula is what you need. Work done is P dt. This is what you need. This is what you need. And now the other one is that power, the work done is equal to force into displacement. And the power is dw by dt. These are the things what you need. So if the constant force d by dt of the force is constant, we can write fs. So it is f into ds by dt. We can write if the force is constant, that is f into v. This is the other way of representing. In terms of dot product, the power is the dot product of force and velocity. So with this few concepts, we will go ahead solving some few problems. And tomorrow I'll introduce you to work energy theorem and further other things. Today we solve some few problems and we'll go ahead for this. So once noted, please let me know, Ma. These are the concepts on which we are going to solve some problems.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, let's go. The first problem. A body of mass 1 kg begins to move under the action of a time dependent force. Time dependent force F is equal to F bar is equal to, they have given it as 2t I cap 2t I cap plus 3t square j cap plus 3t square j cap. Okay, newtons, where I and j are, where I cap and j cap are unit vectors along x and y axis. X and y axis. What power will be developed by the force? What power will be developed by the force by the force in time t. In time t. This is the question. I'll give you the options. The option A is 2t square plus 4t power 4 watts. B 2t cube plus 3t power 4 watts. Option C is 2t cube plus 3t power 5 watts, and option D is 2t plus 3t cube watts. This is the options. Once you write it, I will explain how to handle this.
Yes, sir.
Written, everyone? Taken a screenshot or something?
Yes, sir.
Can I clear? Yeah. So let's go about this. So the option C is the right answer. So you can mark it. Option C is the right answer. Answer is option C. How to solve this? So here we use the concept power is the dot product of force and velocity, F bar dot V bar. And now I don't know how to do the V bar. V bar can be found it as integral A bar dt. And V bar is integral A bar. What is acceleration vector? How do we get acceleration vector? That is F bar by M dt. Acceleration is force by mass. So that's how we can do the integration. Acceleration A bar is force by mass. So we have, what is the mass given? 1 kg. And the force vector also they have given. What is the force vector? 2t I cap.
2T I cap.
Yeah. 2t I cap plus 3t square j cap. This is what they have given. This one they have given this much newtons. So F by M is anyway the same thing. So the acceleration vector, you just have to take the integration. So integral of 2t I cap, okay, plus 3t square j cap. This is meter second power minus 2 dt. This much you will get. Okay, we have divided with mass. Mass is 1 kg. So F by M is anyway acceleration vector. We got this. So divide it by 1, you get the same thing, no? So we got this. And now you integrate, you get V bar as 2t. Integral of 2t is t square I cap, and integral of 3t square is t cube j cap. That's how you get the integrals. When you substitute 0 to t, you get the same thing. And now the power is given by F bar dot V bar. And now what is F bar? This vector 2t I cap plus 3t square j cap, the dot product of t square I cap plus t cube j cap. Now take the dot products, you get the answer. I with I, that is 2t into t square, that is 2t cube, plus j with j, 3t square into t cube, that is 3t power 5. Right? That's the answer. That many watts. That's it. If they give you some time at this particular time how much power is generated, so they can give you at 1 second what is the power generated. You can substitute t is equal to 1, get the power, right? So that's how the question can be there. So this is one kind of model what we have seen in the earlier papers. Okay. Now can I clear this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, briefly, I will introduce the work energy theorem. Tomorrow, we'll discuss this in much detail. Work energy theorem, what does it say? The total work done is change in the kinetic energy. That's what it says. That is Ke final minus kinetic energy initial. This is what it says. Total work done is equal to change in the kinetic energy. In fact, it can be written as F bar dot dx bar. In fact, dr bar, you can say that is equal to half m into v final square minus v initial square. There's the other way of writing the work energy theorem. So dr bar is the displacement vector, f bar is the force vector. Okay. And dr bar is the displacement vector. Displacement vector. So this is the thing. And you know that v final is the final velocity. Final velocity. And v initial is the initial velocity. So this is the idea. So that is work done. Total work done is actually the sum of so many things. It will come. So don't worry much about that. First, let's use this and to solve the problem. Okay, clear this one. How the problem will come on a work energy theorem type. So we'll solve this. Can I clear this?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, second question, question number 2 today. A block of mass, 10 kg moving in x direction, moving in x direction, moving in x direction with a constant speed of, with a constant speed of, with a constant speed of 10 meters second inverse, is subjected to a, is subjected to a retarding force of, what is a retarding force? That such a force will stop the object. Such is called retarding force. Retarding force of F is equal to 0.1x, and they have given a unit, a special unit, joule meter inverse. Joule meter inverse is actually newtons. Okay, they have given a very, I am very fond of this unit, joule meter inverse. That is 1 Newton. It's a very, very important conversion. See this, 1 joule meter inverse. That's 1 Newton. Yeah. So how this comes in? See, the joule is the unit of work. So the joule is actually force into displacement. That is 1 Newton into 1 meter. So the 1 meter, if you send to the other side, 1 Newton, you get it as 1 joule meter inverse. So very nicely they have given this. So if the force is expressed as joule meter inverse, so normally all of a sudden when you see that force is not given in newtons, if that unit you see that you may get confused. So for that they have given this. So you should not get confused if they give joule meter inverse. During its travel from travel from 20 meters to 30 meters. 20 meters to 30 meters. 30 meters. Its final kinetic energy will be, its final kinetic energy will be. This is the question. They are given the options. Option A, 475 joules. Option B is 450 joules. And option C is 275 joules. And option D is about 250 joules once again. Yeah, 250 joules. So the options given, I'll tell you the right answer is option A. That's the right answer for you. 475 joules is the right option. So we'll solve this problem now. Can I clear this once written?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay,
Yes,
good.
sir.
Good. Now, see, the thing is the work energy theorem. Just now we use, I told you the work energy theorem, what it says. Work energy theorem, it says that the total work done is equal to delta K, change in the kinetic energy. That is K final minus K initial. This you can do this. But here the work done is negative. Why? It is the work done by retarding force.
Retarding.
Okay, good. Work done by retarding force. Because it is a retarding force, the work done is a negative quantity. So we will solve this one by, so what you can do, integral f bar dot dx bar, this we can write, but this is a negative sign we'll put. That is half m into v final square minus v initial square. Or we can write ke final minus kinetic energy final minus kinetic energy initial. So this one we can write. Now we'll substitute the things. So it is negative of 0.1 x dx, right? That's it. 0.1 x is what they have given. And the force is applied from 20 meters to 30 meters. See the question, okay? That is equal to the final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy. So half into 10 into the mass is 10. So it was, what was the initial velocity? Constant speed. It was moving with a constant speed of 10 meters second inverse.
10 meter per second.
So initial velocity we can write 10 square. So here we can cancel. It is 500 here. So that is kinetic energy final minus 500 here, this part. And oh, what happened? Sometimes it does. Okay. My pen will dance sometimes. I don't know why. So you have minus 0.1 and then you integrate this part. What you get is x square by 2 and then you substitute 20 to 30. Here, this side you have k final minus 500. So k final minus 500 is equal to, so here minus 0.1 by 2. So what I have is 30 square minus 20 square. So how much I will get? 30 square, that is 900 minus 400. So that is 500, right?
Five.
K final is 500 minus 0.1. 500 by 2 is 250, right? So I got K final as 500 minus 0.1 into 250 is 25.
20.
So I get 475 joules. That is the final kinetic energy. You can calculate final velocity also. How do we calculate final velocity? That also we'll do. That is 475 joules is up to this part. So one can calculate final velocity if they ask you. They may ask final velocity also. What's the final velocity because of the work done? Because of the application of this force. And now final velocity. So that is half mv square, half m into v square, v final square. That is equal to 475, right?
Yes.
So V final is equal to square root of 475 into 2. The mass is about 10. This is how one can calculate. So here 5. So it works out to be V final is equal to square root of
Root 96.
how much it will be, Amma? 5 9's 45. 5 9's 45. 5 5's 95 times it will go, right? Square root
Yes.
of 95. So square root of 95, we can do our square root approximation I told you. Suppose they ask you square root 95, how to solve this? How many digits? How to get this one? Don't have to worry. We have square root approximation in hand. What we'll do? So 95 will write. So this one 95 lies between two squares, which is 9 square, that is 81. And it lies between 10 square, that is 100. So what we'll do? 95 minus 81. Minus 81. So the fractional part is calculated like this: 95 minus 81 divided by 100 minus 81. 100 minus 81 is 19. 95 minus 81 is 14. So it's like 14 by 19. 14 by 19 will approximate it as 14 by 20. So this works out to be 0.7. So here square root of 9 square is 9. So the answer will be approximately, the answer is 9.7 meter second inverse. This is how you get the answer. That will be the final velocity. Even if they ask you final velocity, approximately the answer will be around 9.7 meter second inverse. Clear, Amma? How to solve these things? Got some idea? Very good. Can I clear? So this is how you can utilize your square root approximation. Now and then in the exam, you don't have a calculator, you don't have to worry. Square root of 95, you got how much it will be around. So this way you can use the square root approximation to get the approximate answer. Okay, ma? Now I'll clear this. We'll go to the third question. Question number 3. A particle of mass m, a particle of mass m is driven by a machine that delivers a constant power of k watts. Constant power of k watts. If the particle starts from rest, if the particle starts from rest, If the particle starts from rest, the force on the particle, the force on the particle at time t is given by, at time t is given by, option A, square root of mk by 2 into t to the power of minus half. Option B is square root of mk into t power minus half. Option C is square root of 2mk into t power minus half. And option D is half into square root of mk into t power half. This is the question. And the answer for this question is option A. So we'll solve this. You can give a try if you wish. Anyway, I'll solve. Don't worry. So let's read the question one more time. A particle of mass m is driven by a machine that develops a constant power of k watts. If the particle starts from rest, the force on the particle at time t, this is what they have given. So we need to use the relation between the power and the force. So that's how it goes. So what are the things which is given? Only the power. That's what they is given. So you have how to deal with this. Again, we have to use, for this kind of questions, work energy theorem again. What is this work energy theorem? Work done is nothing but total work done. Total work done is nothing but change in kinetic energy. This will help you to solve any kind of problem, I tell you. So what is work done? Work done is nothing but integral PDT. I told you that. So integral of power into time. So that gives you that. So integral KDT, that is the work done. That is equal to delta KE, that is half M into V final square minus V initial square. Or you can write KE final minus KE initial. So you have this on. And now you can see that the you see this, what is KE final? That is half mv final square. I think that body has started from rest, so I can write it as 0. If it started from rest, the initial velocity is 0, so this part is 0. And now integral KT is equal to, I can write KT. So this is what I have. The final equation works out to be like this. So you have the, from this I can find what is the final velocity. Thus the final velocity is given by 2kt square root of 2kt divided by m, right? 2kt divided by m square root. This is what I get the final velocity. And but I also know the power is equal to force into velocity. Here I get velocity final, that's the velocity. The power is k is equal to f into velocity final is square root of 2kt divided by m. So here I need to find the force. So that is k into root m divided by root 2 into root k into root t. Okay. Now root k and this k will go root times. So it will be square root of mk by 2 here. 1 by root t can be written as t power minus 2. So that's your option A. That's the required force. Noted. Once noted, please let me know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Now, another very interesting question. So the next question is the fourth one. A ball is thrown. A ball is thrown vertically downwards. Vertically downwards from a height of from a height of from a height of 20 meters with an initial velocity of v naught. With an initial velocity of v naught. It collides with the ground. It collides with the ground and loses 50% of its energy. 50% of its energy during collision. 50% of its energy during collision. And rebounds to the same height. Same height. Then the initial velocity v naught is equal to use g 10 meter second power minus 2. They ask you to use g as 10. Specifically, they have given the option A 14 meter second inverse. Option B is 20 meter second inverse. And option C is 28 meter second inverse. And option D is 10 meter second inverse. So here one thing you have to understand, the initial energy is not equal to final energy. So energy is not conserved here. So in this situation, but they have given a hint, the option B is the right answer. We'll arrive to this option. Once written, please let me know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Now, the answer. What they have given us. The total energy initial is double that of total energy final. Okay. So it has lost 50. The final energy, the total energy final, that is 50% of initial energy. That's what they have given us. Or you can say that the total energy, initial energy is double that of final energy. So because it is 50% of initial energy. Either of the way, it will help you to solve the problem. This is what the thing they have given. Now, what will be the total energy initial? It is the sum of, right, the ball is thrown from a height of 20 meters from the ground. With some velocity v naught, it is thrown. So it is having kinetic energy as well as potential energy. Let us say the kinetic energy is half mv naught square. That is a kinetic energy. It is having the potential energy of mgh also, because assuming this height is h. And now after hitting the ground, it has gone to the same height once again. That means the final energy is only potential energy. The final energy is only potential energy, that is mgh. So we have the equation, final energy is half of the initial energy. 50% means half of the initial energy, that is half mv naught square plus mgh. So don't substitute the numbers, just wait. We'll get the equations. So mgh is equal to half into half, that is 1/4 of mv square, mv naught square, plus half of mgh. You can do like this. And this half mgh you descend this side. So you have mgh minus half mgh is equal to, we will write 1 by 2 into, I will tell you 1 by 2 mv naught square will write. This for convenience, I'll tell you. So mgh minus half mgh is nothing but half mgh is equal to half into half mv naught square. This half and this half is gone. M is gone on either side. So you get v naught square is equal to 2gh. V naught is equal to square root of 2gh you got. So just substitute the numbers. V naught is equal to square root of 2 into g is 10, h is 20, right? That is square root of 400, right? That is 20 meter second inverse. Hence the answer. Once it's clear, please let me know. Can I clear, Amma? Yeah. Okay, fine.
Sir,
Yeah, yes, ma.
sir, instead of putting off on that side, we can use 2 mgh is equals to that initial total energy, sir.
Yeah, you can do that. No issues. You can use that. No issues. Instead of putting the half, you can do that. No issues. I said double that also you can use, no? So
Yes, sir.
T, that also I told you. See, total energy final 2 times total energy final is total energy initial. So I can use this equation also to solve it. No issues on that. You can use either way, you will get the same answer. Next question. Next question. A uniform force F bar is equal to 3I cap plus J cap, 3I cap plus J cap newtons, acts on a particle of mass 2 kg. 2 kg. Hence the particle is displaced. Hence the particle is displaced from position 2I cap plus K cap 2I cap plus K cap meters to 4I cap plus 3J cap minus K cap meters. The work done by the force, the work done by the force on this particle is the option A is 9 joules, option B is 6 joules, option C is 13 joules, and option D is 15 joules. These are the options given. And the correct option is 9 joules. That's the right answer. We'll solve this now. How it is 9 joules. See, what they have given us is the position vectors from which you have to find the displacement vector. The displacement vector is OB bar, this is my OB bar, minus OA bar. So this minus this. So what you have to do, OB bar minus OA bar is what you have to do. That is my displacement vector AB bar. So that is 4I plus 3J minus K. 4I cap plus 3J cap minus K cap minus 2I plus K. 2I cap plus K cap. So 4 minus 2, that is 2I cap plus 3J cap minus K cap is minus 2K cap. We got the displacement vector. What else we have? Force vector is there. Force vector is there, F bar 3I cap plus J cap. Right. And now what we have to do for the work done? Work done is F bar dot R bar. That's it. No, that's the work done. So take the dot product of these two, that is 6. And J is plus 3. The K cap is absent. 6 plus 3, that is 9 joules. As simple as that. Very simple, this question. Sometimes like this you will find. You should not leave.
Sir,
Yes, ma.
Sir, in some questions they are giving that force in vector form, sir.
Yes.
And they are asking what is the work done in moving through 4 meter along x-axis,
4
y-axis,
meters
like that.
along axis. Suppose they ask you. Okay, good question. Suppose the force will take an arbitrary thing like F1 I cap plus F2 J cap plus F3 K cap. Suppose like this they have given. What if they move that the force? What is the work done if it is moved for about r meters in x direction? Suppose they ask you like this. That's what your doubt is, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, suppose in x direction. See, x direction means you get only the vector I cap into the picture. So your displacement vector is very simply r I cap.
Okay, sir.
Suppose they have moved 4 meters in x direction. Your displacement vector is 4 I cap. Got it? So what we
Yes,
do work done means simply f bar dot r bar will do. So it is nothing but so I times I know. So f into 4 here, f1 into 4. Whatever is the component. Suppose f1 they give you like 3. So 3 times 4, that is 12 joules. That's it, finished. Very simple.
sir.
That is the easiest
Yes.
problem you can ever think even. Okay, ma. Clear?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
let's go. That is simpler than what we have done just now. Now, the next one. The potential energy of a particle. These are different model questions. Please have a look at these things. The potential energy of a particle in a force field U is equal to A by R square minus B by R. A by R square minus B by R, where A and B are positive constants. Where A and B are positive constants. And R is the distance of particle from center of the field. For stable equilibrium, of course this topic I had to discuss, but don't worry. For stable equilibrium, the distance of the particle is the the option A, we have B by 2A. Option B, we have it is 2A by B. Option C, we have that is A by B. Option D, we have that is B by A. So the answer is here, I'll give you as usual in a different color. The answer is 2A by B. So how do we arrive to this answer is what we discuss now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now this is a concept type question. Here you have to know these things. Okay, for stable equilibrium, this concept based stable equilibrium, the net force on the particle should be zero. Net force should be zero. The net force and potential energy are connected by the equation minus dou u by dou r. This is the equation. F net is minus dou u by dou r. This is the equation, connected equation. U, they have given it as, what they have given it as? A by r square minus b by r. A by r square minus b by r. And now you had to take the derivative and set it to 0. That's all you had to do. So F net is 0 means we will do dou u by dou r minus dou u by dou r plus dou u by dou r. It doesn't matter. It is equal to 0. This one you had to know. This equation you had to know. Suppose they give you the force field. The potential energy in the force field is given by this, and then find the force. This is the equation. For stable equilibrium, F net should be equal to 0. And then dou u by dou r will set it to 0. Minus dou u by dou r will set it to 0. Or dou u by dou r will set it to 0. Okay, this is minus dou u by dou r will set it to 0. Or dou u by dou r. Doesn't matter, no? Because negative sign or positive sign, when you are setting it to 0, it doesn't matter. Now, we have to take the derivative. Derivative of a by r square. So that is a constant will come out. R power minus 2, that is minus 2 by r cube. This is how you get the derivative. Minus b, the constant will come out. 1 by r derivative is minus 1 by r square. So that set it to 0. Now, so you have minus, you can take 1 by r square common, right? 1 by r square will take common. It becomes easy. Negative 1 by r square will take. Minus 1 by r square will take common. So minus 1 by r square, if I take common, you get 2a by r minus b simply is equal to 0. This 1 by r square will send to the other side. So everything, so 2a by r minus b is equal to 0. I got 2a by r minus b is equal to 0. So find r from it. 2a by r is equal to b. So r is equal to 2a by b. That is the required option. And for stable equilibrium, this is the condition. Another condition is there, that is the double derivative. Dou square u by dou r square. The double derivative should be greater than 0 for stable equilibrium. This is another condition for stable equilibrium. This is a concept based question, very important. So what you had to do, set the derivative to 0. That is the idea. Hello, is it clear, Amma?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. We'll move on to the next question. Next question. An engine pumps water through a hose pipe. Water passes through the pipe water passes through the pipe water passes through the pipe and leaves it with a velocity 2 meter second inverse. The mass per unit length of water in the pipe is 100 kg per meter. 100 kg meter inverse. This is what they have given. What is the power of the engine? What is the power of the engine? Power of the engine. So how do we find such thing? So the option A is 400 watts. Someone can give a try at this one. It's 200 watts. And option C is 100 watts. And option D is about 800 watts. Want to give a try? You can give a try. An engine pumps water through a hose pipe. Water passes through the pipe and leaves it with a velocity of 2 meters second inverse. Okay, that's what they have given. The mass per unit length of water in the pipe is 100 kg per meter inverse. If you take 1 meter length pipe, you will get 100 kg of water in that pipe. That's such a big pipe. So what is the power of the engine? So here the option D is what you get as the right answer. So we'll solve this. So once you finish writing, done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we'll go ahead. The answer, it goes like this. Now power, I told you, that is force
Force into
into velocity.
velocity.
So here that is FV, we can write. But F is equal to MA, so we'll write MAV. So you see how the equations will turn up now. So we can write m into acceleration is velocity by time. Directly we are able to write. Why? Because it is flowing with a constant velocity. Okay, the velocity is not changing much. Okay, I can say that. So it's a constant acceleration, I can say. So velocity by time. So I have velocity by time into v, first of all. Now we will do one more thing here. Mass we will divide with the length of the pipe, and again L by T will write. I divided with the length M by L into L by T into V is V square. But what is L by T? Again velocity, right? So I will get M by L into V cube. What is M by L? M by L is the mass per unit length of water, that is 100 kg meter power minus 1. This is what they have given, M by L. And the velocity with which the water is flowing is 2 meter second inverse. 2 meter second inverse. but it is flowing constant with a constant velocity. Yeah, it's flowing with a constant velocity. But the thing is that here the mass is changing. Because of that, the acceleration concept is not there here. So that's why we have changed everything into velocity. Directly we are able to write v by t. That's the reason. So here the rate of change of mass is there, but not acceleration. That's what you have to understand. The velocity is constant. So let's put the numbers here. So F happens to be, m by L happens to be 100, and v cube is 2 cube,
8.
8. So that's how you get 800 watts. Simple but tricky. Written amma? Clear? Everyone? Just checking. Written amma? Done everyone? Hello? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, sufficient today, amma. So we'll meet tomorrow and then we'll solve the work energy theorem and related questions. But I want you to give a practice on these questions to have an idea about what is going to come. Yeah. Thank you all. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, ma.